Silencer.
G'day and welcome to Game 2 between OG and GaiminGladiators in this lower bracket elimination TI11 main stage. And OG have taken Game 1.
Remaining.
Dante Garland, I think that someone says GaiminGladiators. I heard it and I said, no, I'm sticking with GaiminGladiators. That's how I read it anyway.
OG's turn to ban.
And we have our initial picks and bans already. GaiminGladiators picking up the Primal Beast. It wasn't banned out. Marcy has been ignored. Okay, so Primal Beast and Silencer for GaiminGladiators. I have to say the Silencer didn't impress me in Game 1 for GaiminGladiators. OG open with a Pangolier Viper. I mean, that just seems a lot stronger. Viper pretty good at dealing with a lot of obnoxious heroes, and because he is just pure toxicity himself.
GaiminGladiators turn to
Bans,
ban.
we have the Razor and Timbersaw being banned from GaiminGladiators, so immediate targets onto the side of Amar. OG get rid of Undying and Shadowfiend. I mean, I didn't think Shadowfiend was an issue that game at all, Game 1. Shadowfiend just got completely obliterated. Got stunned once and died so many times. I think the pos one Shadowfiend, the phase has come and gone. Igor, you got a jet for a bit, but I'll be back for Liquid Entity series. Yep, I'll be doing Liquid Entity later on. OG, get rid of the Marcy in the second phase. I mean, this is incredible that Marcy was actually ignored first phase bans, wasn't picked first phase, and is now have to be banned second phase. Considering it is first phase banned pretty much every game so far this TI. First phase pick or first phase ban, that is.
10 seconds remaining. 5
So,
seconds remaining.
I think they've already grabbed a Mars hero in the Viper. So probably no more directed bans towards that game. Please actually take out the Lich. Lich in the TA, Broodmother being removed. Yeah, this Broodmother has become fairly obnoxious last few days of competition. I think the way that it just controls an area of the map and just siphons off a lot of farm, it just means that it does a lot of things sort of off screen. You know, it doesn't allow the opposition carry to get the farm, to have the farm patterns that they want. That's really what a Broodmother does, and when you are playing around certain timings and want to really hit a certain phase in a match, this is what these drafts are all about, hitting certain timings. The Broodmother can just really interrupt the timings for the cause of the opposition team, so having that banned out as well. The Enigma second phase ban. I mean, look at these second phase bans. Marcy, Enigma, making it through that first phase. With the Silencer picked, I mean, that's a very good ban. You pick Silencer, you then grab an Enigma as well, and you are set. So very good ban there. Tiny banned out from GaiminGladiators. And the Crystal Maiden. Please don't nerf Crystal Maiden. Please, Ice Frog, don't nerf Crystal Maiden. She's overperforming. She's overperforming. She's not that good. Don't change. Don't change. Don't change my girl. Crystal Maiden we picked for GaiminGladiators. It's actually been surprising to me the win rate that Crystal Maiden has had. I think it's been more relevant to the teams that have been playing Crystal Maiden rather than the hero itself. The fact that she doesn't have a stun is really troublesome. So if you look at GaiminGladiators draft, like Silencer, Crystal Maiden provides no stun. So you think about as a roaming unit, as a ganking unit, you're 4 and 5, you've got no stun, which makes it really hard to follow up the initiation from the Primal Beast. You know, once BKBs come online, it's really, really hard. Now, Crystal Maiden is very strong before that. You know, you get the early levels in the root, and it's very, very powerful. Obviously, the global aura, keep everyone sustained. You can look around the map, but it's harder. It has a really odd mid-game timing that isn't very good for the Crystal Maiden. OG picked the Jakiro and the Clockwork. I think Jakiro Clockwork is an insane combination picks here. You've got stun from Jakiro, can follow up on top of the cogs if they have no way to get out. Clockwork has just become one of the meta heroes. If you can get the Aghanim Scepter and get the flares rolling out across the map, you pretty much have global map hacks at that stage. I think it's about little like 10-12 seconds of just the triple flares And there's not pretty much anywhere on the map that isn't illuminated by the clockwork. Lifestealer into Viper. That's actually a pretty good Lifestealer game. Is anyone going to grab a Silence? Probably not. There's been a build recently on the Lifestealer, which is just to get a BKB, and you have very long duration of magic immunity between the Rage and the BKB. And you know, I think we'll probably see that again this game from GaiminGladiators. It's when you go for that is the real timing based thing for the Lifestealer here.
GaiminGladiators, turn to back.
The Gladiators ban out the Morphling and the Slark. Very good bans. You don't want this Morphling to make it through to the last pick. Be uncounterable at that stage in the draft. OG remove the Beastmaster and the Brewmaster. Getting rid of the Masters of Chaos and Control on the side of Gladiators. They are looking for probably that last pick offlaner, assuming that the Primal Beast is mid. I mean, they picked Underlord last game, and Underlord didn't have a good game. Bat is still around. You ban the Slark, so maybe Bat is decent. See some sort of odd offlaner, but Timbersaur's out as well. And we're looking for Yuragi's hero. Monkey King is still available. That was what he played game 1. They could just go back for it. Pretty good combined with the Pangolier. Provides a good stun to set up for the Jakiro as well. They go for the Void. Oh my, the Void made it through. Okay, Faceless Void with the Jakiro and a Viper. That's a lot of damage inside the Chrono. Macropire is no joke. Flares on top. Even Pangolier can input damage into that Chrono with the Swashbuckle.
10 seconds remaining.
This is a very good Faceless. They've really set up their draft well for a Faceless Void. If I look for the side GaiminGladiators, do they really have the lockdown to deal with the Faceless Void? And the short answer is no. They've got Primal Beast for stuns at the moment, and that's about it. I mean, Faceless Void can just jump away from the Lifestealer. The root's decent from CM, but once the BKB comes online, this Crystal Maiden's not going to feel very safe at all. I think they have multiple ways of catching the Silencer. Clockwork, Pango, Faceless can all catch the Silencer. Viper and Jakiro can provide the damage from the back lines. This draft from OG looks incredible. GaiminGladiators, they need something to pull it together in this last pick. I don't know what they could grab to help them salvage this game. They need something that has a stun. I mean, maybe Centaur? Help them disengage from a roll. Centaur looks okay. I mean, it doesn't help you inside of the Chronosphere, but maybe you just try and avoid you play around more the Pangolier roll than the Chrono. Centaur's not great against Clockwork either. I think that Gladiators are scratching their heads at the moment. They went down to their last 4 seconds.
Choose your hero.
Okay, so they take the Primal Beast to the off lane and grab themselves the Storm Spirit mid. They needed some catch for the Vortex, and they needed some sort of stun. It's good. It's good against the draft of OG, but I don't think it can do enough. Gonna have trouble bursting through the Viper. Same with Yuragi. Hero's pretty naturally tanky as well. Yeah, I think OG have got this game.
10 seconds.
Barring some pretty heavy throws, I think OG have got the draft win.
Remaining.
And if Misha ever gets to a point where they have the Aghanim Scepter on this Jakiro, anyone inside that Chronosphere dies. And the pure damage from Macropire is insane. And with a Faceless Void in your team and a Clockwork, I would be tempted. I'll be tempted just to rush that Aghanim Scepter. You've got such good setup for the pure damage macro. And particularly against a Lifestealer. Just to burn through him through the rage. And there's going to be an early BKB on the Primal Beast as well, yeah. I think OG have got multiple answers for what Gaming Gladiators are bringing this game. The global, probably the one X factor. But if Chrono's already cast, global's not going to help that much. If Macropie is already down, it's not going to stop it. If Amar's already thrown the Viper Strike, it's not going to stop it. Like, the Silencer, if Clockwork's already hooked in and Battery Assaulted, it's not going to stop it. There's a lot of ongoing effects here from OG that the Global Silence just is not going to have an impact on. I think the Global Silence for Gaming Gladiators has to be used offensively in this game. I think if they use they have to use it in an offensive manner. Use it to secure kills rather than trying to disengage from a bad fight, because it's just not going to get the job done. So use it to jump in with the Storm Global to make sure there's no counterplay. I think that's their only chance.
My keyboard is not working.
So we're moving into now game 2 between OG and Gaming Gladiators. Smokes from both sides. They'll meet in the mid lane, say hello. Give themselves a little bit of a tap each. Wood will be planted down. For the side of OG. Gaming Gladiators throw their own obs up on the high ground. Top side of the river. And their secondary is this little sneaky spot behind the trees. It's covering the bottom rune spot. So Gaming Gladiators prioritizing runes to begin with. I may even see some rotations to the rune spots by the supports.
30 seconds to battle.
And second ward for OG is up on this high ground. Maybe looking to snipe some couriers as they come out. If Tiger has boots, yeah, just I think sending out boots right now. Nope, went for the regen build first instead of the boots. OG, they might even try and get a kill here. Celery steps up. No, they are just walking their way back, and it'll be two runes apiece. And that will be starting our game off. We're heading to our mid lane. We'll see Boom playing the Storm Spirit. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. He'll be playing up against BZM on the Pangolier. It's a very thematic matchup there. In the safe lane for Gaming Gladiators, Bracho on the Lifestealer, being supported by Celery on the CM. They're up against Tiger on the Clockwork, and Viper on being played by Amar. I mean, this is a toxic lane. Wowzers, that's a powerful lane for OG. In the top side, we're going to have Misha on the Chikiro, supporting Yuragi's Faceless Void. They're laning against Tofu's Sansa, and Ace on the Primal Beast. I mean, this bottom lane, if this CM steps out for a moment, Battery Assault, Poison Attack, Celery is going to die very, very quickly. BZM starting with the Quelling, so should be able to last it quite well in this middle lane. I mean, no point yet in the Overload. Interesting. Normally, that's a pretty good value point early on. Celery, yeah, he just has to play the lane. They won't be getting pulls off, I doubt. If he steps out to try and get a D-Ward on this sentry, then it's going to be probably death. Yep, there's the battery being on the Celery. We'll just harass him back. But yeah, I think level 2 or 3, the CM's going to struggle to stay in lane. It's going to tank a lot of this Battery Assault, actually. It's just free damage at the moment against CM. Mid lane, 10 and 3 up against 7 and 2, so reasonably even. I don't think either side should get too much of an advantage there. Yuragi should be pretty safe on this top lane as well, at least for a few levels with the level in Time Walk. I imagine he'll max out the Time Walk here in this lane. Actually, bottom side, Tiger is running away. Has to run from this Lifestealer. Already gets the D-Ward. Rage being popped just to dispel the magic, dispel the poison attacks. Magic damage coming through. As the bash. Tofu could be in trouble if there's a secondary bash following up Misha. Not close enough for a dual breath. Has a mango though if he wants to pop it. charge coming through from Ace. Catches onto the Jakiro. Follow-up trample damage. Mishri's underneath the tower. Last word as well as the curse to hold himself from casting any spells for the time being. As a Mango and a Tango, should be fine. No first blood just yet. I have to say I'm surprised that this CM is still alive in the bottom lane. A lot of kill potential here. Curious, gotta be careful, sends out his help. Level 3 now on Amar, so level 2 in the poison. No boots yet on Tiger. That could be the issue. Rage will probably be used here just to dispel. There it is. Yep. So no rage for 20 seconds. Gotta be careful coming up to the lane. 12 lasts to the 13, so Gacho's actually doing pretty well. Ooh, I think they could have had the CM there with the cogs. No point in the Glaives of Wisdom. I have to say, I hope Tofu doesn't go 404 or something to that effect. I hope he gets an early level in Glaives, just so he doesn't get some stacks, permanent stacks. Bottom, they've actually onto the lifestealer. No rage available. Now the turnaround. Tiger needs to be careful. Mango still on Celery. Grabs the point in the Arcane Aura, so men are across the map now.
For the event.
In this bottom lane for GaiminGladiators, I think is going a lot better than what OG would have expected. Tiger will go across and secure himself a bounty. Boom and BZM both with their bottles collect the water runes, so we'll be perfectly fine in terms of their regen for the time being. A little bit casual harass, but BZM throws it back the other way. Here we go, Tiger. Catches on to actually find the lifestealer and the rage has got to run. Can't hang around and fight. If that rage runs out and he's still within range of Amar, then he takes a lot of damage. Yuragi, though, has the jump. Level 2. Yeah, he's maxing out the time walk in this lane just to make sure that he can get away from the trample of Ace. Mid lane. BZM, he's behind the tower. Has another swashbuckle. Ooh, didn't quite collect on all of them there. Would have been close. 9-1 charges. Boom's hanging on to, just potentially baiting. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Celery's being caught inside the cogs. This time, that's what they were looking for. Is there a rage still available? There is. We'll use it to get away. And the first blood going to Amar in this offlane for OG.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I think probably fairly as expected. Yuragi will get the point in the time dilation. I think he will. He's got plenty of mana to play around with in this top lane. Time dilation against Silencer is a little bit funny. You know, both Silencer, the Arcane Curse, and the time dilation, similar spells. Not necessarily. Oh, mid lane. BZM does go down, even with Tiger's rotation. That's the level 6 on Boom. Did catch out this Pangolier. And the immediate rotation comes bottom. Got a bit of mana to work with. Amar. The zip comes through. It's a long one. Doesn't have enough mana to pull him back in though. No wands, no bottles. Top lane. O2. Being a little bit low, but Jakiro Misha goes down. He doesn't have the benefit of the time walk like Yuragi does. He can't get away from that trample damage.
Stupendous.
Yes, and the pointing glaives of wisdom. I love to see it. You can start getting that permanent int.
The wonders of the
BZM will collect the Arcane. Has got the Rolling Thunder ready as well. So, I think there'll be some timing-based movements coming out from OG in this game. Chronosphere, Rolling Thunder, but also from GaiminGladiators. They want to play a lot around the Global Silence and the Primal Beast. But they don't really match up very well because Primal Beast's pulverize a very low cooldown, 32 seconds at level 1, as opposed to what the Global Silence is. BZM with the roll. It's an Arcane Moon roll, does miss. Tofu with the sidesteps, does manage to dodge the first one. Roll comes through again. Who actually misses. And yeah, that's an unsuccessful first roll from BZM. Meanwhile, Boom's just hitting the mid tower, getting a nice amount of XP. Level 7 now. Bottom lane, Celery has been caught by Tiger, and now he's gonna have to try and get away quick. He dies in the base. Gratcho dies in the base from the Viper Strike. They just committed to the damage. They knew they had enough. At least suspected it. Ace moving in for the Falcon Blade, pretty expected after the phase boots. Everyone wants a Falcon Blade. It's everyone's new best friend. Maybe not Yuragi. Maybe Yuragi doesn't want a Falcon Blade.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So, Amar probably pretty much taking over this bottom lane at this point. Pretty hard for anyone to come here, unless it's the Storm Spirit to make a rotation. Boom, and BZM duking it out. Boom managing to get the invis room, so refilling up his bottle. BZM will have to make do with an empty bottle for the time being. And is this... I thought it was only level 3 for a second. Level 5. Level 5 on Ace. As expected. Chronosphere half a level away. I think they'd like to make a bit of a play with that if they could get maybe a rotation from the Viper. Or rotate to the Viper. Storm now onto Amar. He's getting caught. Tiger's in the area. There will be overwhelming damage getting through, and he will get bursted through. Tiger, in the midst of it, gets the kill on the carry. Celery will be a bit of collateral as well, so OG, they make the rotations, they lose their offlaner, but they're happy to take the 5 and the 1. Rolling Thunder, coming out. He's going to have to jump a long way. He's out of mana. They see he's out of mana. They're on the chase. They've got the battery, and this will be a dead Storm Spirit. I mean, they just did the maths. BZM did the maths. He saw how much mana was on Boom, and he said, "I'll just roll and come for you." And now here's the rotation. Will there be a Chronosphere? Yes, there is. Chronosphere immediately popped, and with Amar on the side, easy kill here. That'd be a dead Primal Beast. As I said, they want to make an immediate play with that Chrono. You want to get value out of it as soon as possible, and Amar makes the rotation since he was the one who was dead. Keep his up in this top lane, and great use of those cooldowns. Now, it's been a while since we've seen a lot of Storm Spirit in the competitive scene. Generally, it's been the Void Spirit or the Ember that have been seeing a lot more play. So, we have to see how this Storm Spirit scales for Boom. Went for the Soul Ring plus the mana treads, bottle, wand. He's got a lot of ways to get mana back. Probably has the burst to go into Amar here. Well, that's level 2 in the process skin. Amar's just manning up though. Realizing he has the support behind him, stun catches. Roll up damage, they might just get Boom. There's the tick damage, he's trying to dodge it. He can't dodge enough. The Dual Breath, level 3 will get the job done, and there's the macro. The tick down on the Celery. Misha with the double kill. Macropier, if you didn't know, it has a 2-second tick. Yeah, 2 seconds sticky. So will be continue to be affected for 2 seconds after walking out of that Macropier. So even though Celery probably only got caught for 1 second in it, 2 seconds afterwards you actually get 3 ticks of the damage. Here's the Infest Bomb. Ace moving through. Going on Yuragi with the global. They're using that global offensively, and it will be enough. Tiger, use the battery. He's been caught by Boom, and with the Soul Ring, plenty of mana, Tiger will continue to take a little bit more additional space with the hook shot, but will get brought down eventually. And as I was saying, this is how they have to use this Global Silence. It cannot be used defensively. There are too many ongoing effects from OG. Defensive Global Silence will be unlikely to really turn a fight. But an offensive Global Silence like that, with the Infest Bomb, with the Storm Spirit coming in, that's the one way that they can really get the job done, particularly on heroes before BKBs come out. Here Midas being worked on for Yuragi. So he's thinking about going late game. Once again, it's not a terrible Midas hero. You want to have attack speed inside the Chrono, get more time locks. It's not a terrible Midas hero. Not like it's a Timberstorm Midas, you know, like that'd just be insanity roll. Being thought about here. EZM. In the cancels. Will zip to the bottom lane. Bomb Boom grabs himself the regen. Meanwhile, oh, they actually just got the catch out. That was actually no hook shot. Just no roll. They just found the silencer. Fair enough. Not even any vision. Man. I guess he was contesting the room. Boom went to the bottom river and picked up the regen. So it was a trade worthwhile. Secured the rune for your mid laner. And regen on Storm really is very, very good. BKB still a long way away for Ace. He's pulling over this creep wave. Wants to get better value out of his trample. Trample is a very high damage ability. Global Silence not up for 14. It should line up with this smoke. This time it's not the FS bombs. Celery's leading the way. Not sure about the lifesteal. They have enough damage to take down Faceless Void. Level 6 on Celery. BZM, he's going to get caught. You're going to see him actually the swashbuckle to the dodge. Jumps away. Rolling Thunder is cancelled with the global. TP's coming in. They do get the burst onto BZM, but what will it cost them? The hook misses. Oh, can he get away? I think he will. Yeah. Stun doesn't catch in time. So, perfect rotation there for GaiminGladiators. They forced 3 TPs from OG. All the while, the tier 1 tower is being chipped down. Rage just to run away. That's exactly what GaiminGladiators wanted in that rotation. Use the global, get the kill, and yeah, force rotations from OG, and don't lose a single hero for it. I mean, what is this? We got a lot of gauntlets of strength here. Was that just for the lane? I don't think they're going to build into anything. I mean, they just go into a Soul Ring. Yeah. I don't think he's grabbing himself a Soul Ring. That just value strength at the moment. Value stats. Oh, Celery. The level 8 clockwork. Hunting him. And there it is. This should be a dead CM. Although, their support, maybe he should have popped it a little bit earlier. He needs to try and get the finish. He does. Tiger, though, could go down for this. Rolling Thunder being used by BZM. No, he'll cancel it on the back line. Boom, catches him with the Vortex. The Rolling Thunder eventually will be used about the 4th time. Ace dodging it out, doesn't get stunned. Tiger actually forces it away with the cogs. And this Primal Beast is now caught in the middle of the fight. The Invest Bomb. He uses to try and get away. The Rage has been popped. He's inside the Chrono. There's no way you're getting out of this. That's 3 dead on the side of GaiminGladiators. OG taking that fight beautifully. I thought maybe Tiger had just waited a little too long with that Invis rune. But, I mean, he was just baiting in the rest of GaiminGladiators. Just wanted to draw more over to the slaughter. Tiger with the 5-head play on the top lane. Could have easily gone the other direction, I think. So Witchblade, I think, being completed up for Boom. Celery going for the 4-staff. Ace, still no BKB, but the smoke will come. Going Fest Bomb once again. There is a global. They want to keep using this global offensively. 2 out of 2 times it's worked. This time, smoke doesn't quite catch. There's the stun with the macro. Jump through. They find the clockwork. Global is still up and ready. No macro. Regen rune again in the top lane. Boom will probably zip over and take that. He will. There it is. I love to see. I mean, you can just farm. You just farm camps infinitely, really, with this regen rune until it runs out. Yagi putting the Midas to work. Going into a Maelstrom next. Probably into Maelstrom BKB will likely be the build. Gladiators are moving south. Not under the cover of smoke this time, though. And OG have rotated in heroes. Misha and Tiger. Ace has been found. Stun on the middle. But Tiger will just be... The maxed out curse will be enough. I think Tiger was thinking there that they had some numbers zip in further now from Boom's a long zip onto BZM. He'll get the swash away. Rolling Thunder. Being cancelled. Ice Path catching onto Boom. And getting that maxed out Ice Path as soon as he can. Yeah, not even maxing the Dual Breath. Realizing that the Ice Path is the most important ability in Misha's kit right now. Global though, still available. They want to make another aggressive move here with the global, they can. tense as both teams are around this mid lane. OG, they have their ultis. Chrono has just come back online. Yuragi's in the top lane, so not really. The stun catches onto Celery. This will be a dead CM, but for what cost? On the backline, they've gone in. Global has been used. They're onto Amar. They're trying to get the damage through. He will die. Nisha as well. Rolling Thunder connecting onto the Lifestealer. Just going to make his way out. Yuragi TP'd in, but doesn't really get anything done. And that'll be another death. Tiger being poor. He's tried to run away. So, very good fight there for GaiminGladiators once again. They use that global offensively. And they're playing it perfectly at the moment, GaiminGladiators. They're getting the most out of the map that they can. The question is it enough? OG still have the net worth lead. Like, OG, you can see the use of the globals, you know. Every time the global is used, GaiminGladiators get back a little bit. Then while global's on cooldown, they manage to OG just peg it back. They know they can play a little more aggressively. Then when global's up, OG have to back into their shell, basically sack someone almost, and then let them use the global and then get back to work again. Very much timing based at the moment. Level 2 Chrono, BKB now being worked on by Yuragi. Desolator, still, yeah, reasonable amount away, about 2,000 gold away on the Desolator. Bracho will deal a lot of damage once he has it, and I guess it'll probably be the BKB after that. After that Des, I don't know, because of Chrono, he might not go for the BKB build. Might just want for a little more survivability and maybe a Satanic, just have more HP so he can try and turn after it's down. Because there's no silence, let's just check. Yeah, there's no silence coming out from the side of OG. I don't think he needs the double spell immunity build. Probably just go for some more HP or armor, maybe an AC, try and survive that Chrono as well. Fire, working on Sanj from Boom, so he's scaling reasonably. So, should have network a little bit late. Top net worth though, the two sides, the 1 and 2 of OG. Still leading the way in this room, but there's a smoke now from GaiminGladiators. Global is ready. So once again, they want to just keep using these timings. Yuragi, he's gonna be found. He's farming the small camp. They're not sure where he is. Actually, he's shown, but the global's used. Zip coming out. It probably will be still enough to get the kill, particularly if the pulverize is in range. It does go down, but global used. And now, for the next 2 minutes, you're pretty safe. And immediately they're looking for the catch. Macro with the stun onto this Primal Beast. The BKB might just get him out of here with the TP. I think he will. Rolling Thunder catches on the Celery. So with the use of the Rolling Thunder and the Macro, they only get the 5 CM. GaiminGladiators got to be happy with that. OG look for the immediate play. Cog stun out of... Didn't get the BKB. I think if he gets stunned by the cogs there, he probably dies. With the duration of the BKB being a lot less, he would have taken a lot more magical damage. So, just those cog stuns, or cog pushback, just not quite being on point. Louisiana went for the Yules this game, follow up the Diffusal. Obviously the mana burn on both the Silencer, the Storm Spirit and the Lifestealer is pretty effective. A Lifesteal with no mana is very vulnerable. You know, not being able to rage is 150 mana. You look at his mana pool, 507. Yeah, if he gets swashbuckled right now, he's probably down to about 300. And yeah, that's going to be using a rage as half of his mana pool. So just got to be wary of that on the Lifestealer. Please Diffusal Blade. Has the BKB. Tiger with the shard. He's got the jetpack. 20% bonus move speed for 6 seconds. And of course the unobstructed vision as he flies around. Pretty good at making him fairly survivable as well. Tiger scouted out the Roche. Scan is used. Side of GaiminGladiators think that perhaps OG are in the pit. They messed up inside Boom.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Are they going to find that the Roche pit is in fact empty? No one's in there. Players will scout out the side of GaiminGladiators moving forward. Tiger just using the jetpack to get all the vision they could possibly need. He can make his way back, working towards the mech himself. Dragi's BKB is only 600 gold away. Misha has that gem, working towards the Yules as well. Obviously Yules, you can sort of counter out that global silence. The global comes out, you immediately Yules, you're invulnerable, and when you come down, you can cast a BKB, maybe all that, but you can go off your other spells and reset basically. If you're unaware, the interaction with BKB is interesting with global. Obviously, you can dispel the global silence; it is dispellable, but it does pierce spell immunity. So if you've already used your BKB, you'll be silenced with that global. So always gotta be careful. That preemptive BKB pop is sort of what you want to do in a lot of fights, but the global can silence you after the BKB. And into the roast pit they go. The flare, I think, saw him. ROG coming over in time. They're gonna have to be quick. They smoke up. Ofu's hanging right on the back line. Doesn't want to get caught at all. But remember, you want to use that global offensively, not defensively. They see Celery. It comes out. Global, there it is. But they haven't really caught any cores. It's just Tiger. Roll will now be there from BZM. He's going to look to get through. He's being caught, actually, with another jump. He's caught again. BZM off to the side. He's not getting anything done. Amar, though, the damage done. In the middle of the fight, Iragi with the BKB. We'll use the chrono onto the lifesteal. They have the damage. Amar, I think they do. So a terrible roll there from BZM, but it still kind of works out for OG, as he got caught on the cliff both times. With the Yules, steals that haste rune. Roshan, half HP, just over half HP. Still alive. Very much the focus of both teams at the moment. Minus 2 seconds on the rocket flares, so faster scouting coming out from the side for OG. And into the pit they go. 3-man curse. I mean, you've got to respect that curse. I guess scouting with the jetpack. Ace is off to the side, has the pulverize. No BKB though. Scouting him out. Oop, just to make a little bit of space. And onto the side. Tiger's being initiated on, but really, he's one who's catching them with the Macropire on the deck. They find as well. Possibly the Storm Spear. He's out of mana. He's pretty low. BZM with the haste, chasing through. Lifesteal TP's in to offer a little bit of support, and the Aegis is claimed by Yuragi. And now he's pretty safe. He can almost tank that global silence gang with that global and then turn around. With the Aegis, turn around and fight afterwards.
Precious bounty.
Actually, a cheeky ward up here scouting out Tofu. Seeing anyone who goes to that top side. 4 staff is on the silencer. I believe Solari's reasonably close. Actually, no, still a fair bit away. About 900,000 gold away. And as this game goes on, you have to favor the side with the Rolling Thunder and the Chronosphere.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
If somehow this lifestealer doesn't get caught in the chrono and manages to survive the chrono, then yeah, he can probably turn around and fight afterwards. But that's a big if. He's going for the AC and the basher. At AC, he's thinking a lot of the physical damage, but man, there's a lot of magical as well. If Amar's anywhere in the region, chrono up in 9 seconds. I'm gonna try and make a play here. 8 seconds, 7. They've got the Aegis. There's the Infest Bomb. Into Boom. They want to actually look for the fight. They jump in immediately with the catch from the Zip. Global Silence trying to get onto Amar. And he is caught inside the Chrono himself, actually. Can they get the damage? I don't think they can. So it looks like the Lifestealer will survive the Chrono, but dies immediately after the Cog Stun. Catching him out. Looking for a bash. Rocket Flare will continue to scout. But with the TP out, Boom will be safe. So it looked like a good initiate there from the side of GaiminGladiators. But it's just not enough. When you can't really commit everything onto this Faceless Void because he has the Aegis, then where do you dump your damage? I mean, it was thrown into Amar, but Amar got the BKB off. And even though he was inside the Chrono, which is not a place you want to be, he was somewhat protected in there as well since the Lifestealer wasn't hitting. Cool Psychic Headband. Isha says, yes please, I'll take that. Get extra range on that ice path. Smoke now again. Oh, this is against the trend. They do not have global. Long zip in. They want to try and get it. Actually, the stun. Bash from the swashbuckle. And boom. Manages to zip away. Off to the side. BZM still on the hunt. Everyone's trying to find this CM, and they will. Celery just got blown up. Psychic Headband pushes Ace back. BZM moving up to the top side. There's the Infest bomb as well. Self-heals, but they just is consumed. It's a stun catching onto the middle of the fight. Battery Assault working into this Lifestealer. And there's the second life now of Yuragi. He's bashing towards this Lifestealer. Lifestealer can't sustain through it. There's the secondary Ice Path as well. And Ace actually has the break effect. So no bash for the time being, but not for too long. Yuragi, he's going to have another jump. And Yuragi is really the last man standing in this team fight. 4 dead on both sides. Ace actually did pretty well with what he had to work with there in the end. Getting himself a kill or two. That was all without Global Silence. It's coming up now. I said that fight was against Aegis and without the Global. And really when you consider that, and Celery dying off the bat, GaiminGladiators did reasonably well to get what they did out of that fight. OG probably won't be concerned by that, but certainly probably surprised by GaiminGladiators' willingness to fight in that situation. Aghanim Scepter being worked on by Boom. So many Storm Spirit games we've seen turned around by this AoE vortex. It's like the mini black hole. Ragi playing pretty fearlessly. He's got to be careful as there is the global. Tiger jumping in. Will then use the Cogs sort of defensively in this rune. And that'll be a dead. Be dead Clockwork and +2. +2 over to Tofu. He's got 10 stolen in. He's not a very smart silencer, not yet. Maybe with the 10 stolen in. He's just started out his studies. He's an apprentice. The first year. With the 10 stolen in. He hasn't finished that first year of study yet. BZM did see that basher in effect and working towards the Aghanim Scepter. So even more bashers, even more mana being burnt with that defusal. There's a smoke and a DD here. They passed over the bottle to Yuragi. This will be a DD faceless void. Chrono is up. If they see a target, they'll probably want to take it. Tofu was up on the high ground. Smoke did break from Yuragi and charge away. And GaiminGladiators sense that there's something happening here and they don't really want to be any part of it at the moment. Particularly with Celery on the far side of the map. Just pretty much suicide pushing this at the moment. Sometimes you just got to push lanes in. And Celery probably pushes this a little bit further than what was safe, but just removes a little bit of space on the map for OG. A little bit of space and intel. Tiger jetpacking forward. Scouting out this bottom side. Does actually see Celery. Might think this is an easy kill. There is no Force Staff just yet. So inside the Cogs and CM. This is a dead CM on the bottom lane. Meanwhile, top side. Boom's being found in the trees, but he will zip a long way away. Chronosphere is ready again. This level 3 Chrono, only 140-second cooldown. Roshan, not available for at least another minute 46 or minute 36. Still got the DD room. Yuragi still looking for a fight. He's spoiling for one. 30 seconds, 30 second, additional 30 swashbuckle damage now for Angolier. And, oh, they actually infest up. Long zip in on the bottom lane. They find the Mar with the Infest Bomb. The bash is coming out. The BKB TP, it's very optimistic. But the rotations are come. Yuragi's here, global. Does slow things down for the time being. But they've caught with the Yules. Will there be a Chrono on top? No, not even necessary. No need. With no mana left, they find Boom. And that was a long jump. The issue with going for a long jump like that is there is the chance that you can't get back out. If you don't get that burst kill, there's no way back out. And Amar just lived through it. He has the Skadi, got the BKB off. And he realized immediately that he couldn't BKB TP out. Actually now, it's a dead Lifestealer. I mean, with this DD, they didn't even use the Chrono. Roll is still online. They've got everything. OG are just taking over the map right now. There's not really much Gaming Gladiators can do. This is a favored OG lineup late game, and it's just slipping further and further in their favor. Close to a 10k net worth lead now, will be very soon once these towers start falling. And with the Chrono online, they might even think about going high ground. I doubt it though. Without the Aegis, yeah, being at 27 on Roshan, they'll know that it's possibly coming up soon enough. Likely to scout it out on their way back through and see that Roshan is not ready just yet. This Midas is just paying off now for Yuragi. Got it nice and early, and as this game goes on, later and later, not just the gold, but also the levels, you can see he's level 23, close to getting probably the backtrack. Pretty much 20% damage negation, possibly more on the way that backtrack works, and you might negate a huge damage spike. Or you might negate a small damage spike. You know, it's either way. So it's basically 20% damage negation. Levels itself out in the end. It's not like there's a Laguna Blade this game or a Lion Finger that it could possibly dodge. It's a lot of consistent overtime damage. That's quite bursty. It's not like it's a Jakiro overtime damage. You know, it's consistent, fast damage, but nothing that's incredibly spiky. Still, the Infest Bomb is coming out here with the smoke. It's smoke on smoke action. OG are heading more to the bottom side. There is a tier 2 to claim down there, so it's probably a decent place to move. And as you can see, Gaming Gladiators, they will move into the top side because that's where there's a tier 2 for them to claim as well. However, the creeps are nowhere near it. Roshan, though, 3 seconds, 2, 1, 0. Celery's going to see it. There it is. Roshan has spawned Shard available. And OG, they're on the wrong side of the map. They need to get to this top side. They could just jump in, Gladiators, and try and take this Roche. I think they're, if the hesitation maybe a little bit too long. Open wounds is used, and yeah, just freezing field being committed to try and take this down quickly. They realize how quick they need to do this, and I don't think OG are making it here in time. This is a real timing error here from OG as they smoke to the bottom side of the map. I think they'd love to have taken that fight. They've got the BKB Satanic Chrono on the side of Yuragi. They've got all their items, even Aghanim Scepter on the Pangolier, but just didn't get there back in time. Smoke to the southern side. Now that is Aegis on Dracho. He's getting pretty big now. Probably still needs the AC to survive in the Chrono if he has any chance of surviving. Ace will just show in the mid lane. Ace has got pretty big as well, really. He's actually top net worth for his team, surprisingly. Infest Bomb, bottom lane. Yuragi gonna get caught. Is there the burst damage? The bashes as well, it is. And 94 seconds. Now they want to look for more. OG, they're in a full long retreat. Ace, Boom, and Storm Spirit, 2 heroes that are pretty good at chasing. The Yuragi bursted through, even with that Satanic. That's a lot of HP. He's never had a chance. Needs to have a clockwork hook shot to maybe disrupt that damage, enable him to get off the Time Walk. I mean, if the Faceless gets off the Time Walk there, then that whole top fight just turns around. OG come, the Chrono comes out, and Gaming Gladiators probably lose a Rax or 2. But they just didn't have anyone close enough to provide any disruption. And the hook shot really is the one that will disrupt, because that will go through the BKB rate, or through the rage of the lifestealer in that situation. A scout at Ace, not that they're willing to fight. Another 38 seconds without the Faceless Void, so Glyph will be used. Just delay tactics for the time being from OG. They know that they are strong. They have a net worth lead still. They're probably aware that they have a net worth lead, but also aware that the net worth on their heroes are worth a little bit more at the moment. You know, a Faceless Void scales really well. Trying to get damage over onto Ace, but he has a BKB. Really hookshot in. They want to try and take this fight before the Faceless Void spawns. BKB is used. In the middle of the fight, moves up into the air. Amar pops the BKB. Dracho does get the Infest Bomb to get out of there with the Void spawning. They caught silencer. Maybe moving forward they can catch as well Celery.
Dire's middle tower
Just
is
hiding
under
underneath these trees, but the TP out will come. Actually cancelled it. They want to fight. See BZM going back in again. Yuragi went off to the side. He's not in the middle of the fight. Stun. Does catch onto the Storm Spirit. Global Spirit catching as well. And Celery gets rid of the vision on the high ground. Yuragi, there's a Chronosphere potential. Maybe. He doesn't use it just yet. Uses the Satanic as well as the Mjolnir on himself. Thinking about going in here. There is an Aegis still for a minute 57. Get back. Tiger trying to get himself away. Hook. And he's walking it off. Low mana on Boom. His life still actually has no mana. But with a second life, he would respawn and have the rage ready to go. Cute little play there from GaiminGladiators, making the call they can go back in. I think when they saw Yuragi on the bottom lane farming the creeps, that was the moment. They just hung around long enough to let the Faceless Void go and farm somewhere else. And when they saw that, they immediately jumped. And that's a really, really good play there from GaiminGladiators. Really impressive how they just waited and had the patience go in then. Refresher being worked on by Ace. So double Pulverize, double Trample, double Onslaught. These are pretty impactful spells. This is the time dilation. Jumping in. Actually, will he be caught? He needs some assistance. I don't think he's going to get there in time. He's dead. Has a buyback, but there's no way for him to easily get into the fight. And BZM's probably going to try and roll and TP. Does he have it? Yes, he does. No bash coming out onto him. He'll get out. And once again, I think the side of OG not respecting the amount of burst damage the GaiminGladiators have. Yeah, I mean, if this is a game of jumps at the moment. If you get the jump, then yeah, you can claim the fight. But if OG keep giving these dream initiations to GaiminGladiators, just letting them back into the game. The two times now, the Faceless Void's gone down with no chrono being used. He's starting to fall off a little bit. The farm gap is closing. Midas on cooldown. Burning all that mana. Pretty effective, really. Down to 300 mana. And that's the Aegis being claimed. So back up to full. Has himself the crit stick. Chrysalis online, working towards the Daedalus. He's already hitting hard. There's the hook. They're going in with the global, though. Cogs actually with Greaves. Dispelling it off. Into the middle of the fight. Ace with the BKB, with the Pulverize, catching over onto this Jakiro. And there's the AoE refreshed now as well. Stun. BKB from Ace. Through onto the Viper again. BZM rolling through onto the backline. Ace will be able to TP out. There was no bash. BZM got no bash from the Swashbuckle. What are the chances? I mean, 25% chance to hit. He hits 4 times. You'd think he'd get 1. And in the middle of that, they actually did catch the Lifestealer. Yuragi, he's alive again. That did cost a buyback from OG. I believe it was Tiger. He brought back into that fight. That fight was without Yuragi. You can see OG are quite strong. He now has the backtrack online for Yuragi. So maybe he can survive these initiations with the backtrack. Be able to negate some of that damage coming out. Yuragi just has to think about his positioning in these fights. Should be fine. 25 on BZM. Minus 20 seconds on the Rolling Thunder. I mean, it's a really hard decision for that level 25 on the Pangolier. Whether you want the 3-second cooldown on Swashbuckle. They're going in now. They've caught Ace. Break means there'll be no bash for the time being. Ace will just continue to get away. Thinking about the chrono, Yuragi needs to be careful. They actually caught him here. How much is the backtrack going to do? Not enough is the answer. Yuragi gets caught again. And I think with the side of OG, they have to try and get away. Misha's going to get caught. No TP out for him. And Celery will claim the kill with that Nova.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And really, Yuragi's farm has gone nowhere in the last 10 minutes. This Midas has really been the only reliable gold he's been getting. Hasn't got anywhere towards his butterfly. And now it's a 1k net worth lead. QOG pretty much level. XP heading down in that direction as well. In fact, Gaimin. Dota Plus says 52% win chance now to Gaming Gladiators. Draghi just still underestimating the damage that the Gladiators can bring to him here. Ace, going up to the high ground. Tiger throws down the cogs just to delay. Rage being popped from the Lifestealer. I mean, Amar's pretty strong with this Skadi, but once again, his farm has sort of fell off as well. Now the bottom of the net worth for the cause.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Jump in. They will find the catch onto the Pangolier. Hang on, this Hitchcock actually stunt catches with the hook as well. They're trying to get the lockdown. Follow-up bash onto the Storm Spirit. They need a little bit more. He's dead. But on the back line, Jakiro does go down. Amar pops the BKB. Ace with the BKB as well. Skadi will go through that. Rolling Thunder with the bash. Refresh now. Secondary BKB. We'll try and TP out this time. There's no BKB TP for you, Ace. But he will just charge way up to the high ground. BZM chasing with the Yules. And Pulverize, in fact, is he just going to turn around here? Onto BZM. Roll up. We'll save him for the time being. Has another swashbuckle in a moment. And they will get the job done. I mean, the lockdown at the start of that fight onto the Storm Spirit was insane. This is what Yuragi needs. He says, give me this Aegis. He needs a secondary life. They're killing me once a little bit too easily. Please. And his wish is going to be granted. Because once again, that fight was taken without the Faceless Void. He only joined at the end. Yuragi was dead. So we have Aegis, and I believe the Ag's Blessing. So now we have the Time Walk Bash. A little bit more initiation. And I believe the Cheese is over on Amar. He hasn't got it in though. I really think the Cheese is probably more valuable than the Wraith Band. Up on the high ground, there's Yuragi. He has no fear now. Has 2 lives. This is really the break they're catching for. Onto the backline. Tiger catches the stun. Onto the silencer. There'll be no global silence. No buyback. He's out for 93 seconds. And Amar, he's into the base with BZM. How quickly this game has turned around. Lifestealer has the Infest Bomb back into the base. Actually, Chrono does whiff. Double buyback now from Gaming Gladiators. And it will be BZM who's caught in the base. Has a buyback if he wants to use it. Doesn't have a... Actually has a Boots of Travel. He can get back in if he wants to. But OG will decide that that's as good as it's going to get. Misha, the Jakiro, gets claimed on the way out. But that was double buyback, I believe, from the side of Gaming Gladiators, even though it doesn't say it there. I see Silencer, Clockwork, that's further back. Maybe it's just the one. Where I saw 2 buybacks.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle
And now, turn around and go back up to OG's high ground. Vision placed on the high ground there from the CM. Making sure they see anyone coming in.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle
And they're
barracks
going to
are
go.
under
Buybacks double used now. Trying to catch in. But immediately they'll Infest Bomb and Ace will get the Lifestealer out of there. So double buybacks used in response when there was no Chrono available. Agi showing on his top lane, although he's under the effect of the gear. Does have the Aegis. Catch onto the high ground. They've gone in. They've caught 2 with the Vortex. And there's no buybacks. Those buybacks being used. BZM this time trying to get the bashes with the swashbuckles. Pulverize. Hex follow up with the global. There's the first life from Yuragi. He doesn't have a BKB. Gonna have to rely on that backtrack. No Chrono either. He's jumping in. Jumping back out with the stuns from the Aghanim Scepter. This time BZM's being caught. He's going to probably go down here. Bashes in as well. He's trying to get away with the swashbuckle. He's hanging off to the side. There's a last word. Damage coming through. He is just living for the time being. I think he's going to make it back to the well and recover.
under attack.
BZM just living. The 3 cores of OG holding strong. That could have been the game right then and there. Ragi with the butterfly now. He's probably feeling even just a little bit stronger.
Dire are scanning.
And they bring him down now with the evasion, with the backtrack. There's a ridiculous amount of damage negation coming out from Yuragi. He's playing very dangerously here. Wants to use his Midas. The whole side of Gaming Gladiators is in the area. No BKB for 20 seconds. Yuragi's playing with fire here, flirting with danger. And onto the high ground they go. BZM does use the roll, but there's the chrono. Actually knocks him out from the roll. The roll from BZM actually saves the Storm Spirit. Global Silence comes out. Now they get the catch on Yuragi. He will backtrack off all the damage with the Time Warp. Now he's getting the bashes back through. There's the stun from Misha. Ice Wall, will it be enough? No, he gets away with the Rage. Buyback immediately from Amar. Hex in the middle of the fight. Storm Spirit zipping away, back off to the side. Tofu trying to get the damage with the Glaives. I'm not sure if he has a way to get out. There's a stun, and not in time. Yuragi so dangerously close to dying. And the Rolling Thunder actually saving the Storm Spirit, knocking him outside of the chrono. You wouldn't believe it if you were told about it. There is a TD rune. That'll be scouted out. I mean, that's... TD now on Yuragi, and they're making a play. Smoke, there is no chrono, but maybe they're trying to catch him out. It is a 4v4 at the moment. No BZM. Actually, mid lane, they found Amar. He's used his buyback. He's out for 112 seconds. Retreat to the high ground OG, because that's where Boom and Dracho are heading to. And they need this chrono to have any chance of fighting. It's Yuragi plus 2 supports with no chrono. They try and find the back line. They see Celery off to the side. I wonder if they just give the racks here. I think they don't want to really... If they fight and lose here, that's the game. Oop, comes in. Can they try and get the damage through? The BKB is popped, but Boom managed to get away. The bashes now from the Lifestealer. Misses on misses, but you can't miss the Clockwork. He hasn't got backtrack. He hasn't got a butterfly. Just hit the target you can kill. Buyback is on Tiger. They're going for the Megas, heading down to this bottom side. The tier 3 is still standing strong. A little bit of casual heals there, and they continue on. 10 seconds on BZM. They need this Rolling Thunder. There is a chrono in 8 seconds as well. It's going to line up with the BZM respawn. Glyph will be used. Try and delay a little bit more time. The rest of the side of Gaming Gladiators are on the back line, smoked up, waiting. Try and get caught. There's the buyback. Rage will dodge the stun. Thinking about it, Yuragi has that chrono. Global's up in 20 seconds. Maybe if they can delay that long, the Global will make a pretty big difference in this fight. Ace hanging off to the side with that refresher. Still ready to have 2 rounds of Pulverize. It's a lot of lockdown. Along with the Onslaught. Once again, the Infest Bomb is up. Lifestealer says, Boom, carry me to victory. Where are we going? He's had some very good zip initiations, and particularly this Aghanim Scepter he's had for quite a while now, and the Hex. The AoE Vortexes catching off the side. Zip in, they'll find... Actually, there's the bash coming out, follow through Global Silence. Ace with the BKB Pulverize in the middle of the fight. They get through Yuragi. He's got the buyback. Rolling Thunder coming through now. Tiger caught in the middle of the fight. He has used buyback, so he's out for another 100 seconds. Chrono off to the side. They found the Lifestealer. He is dead. Has buyback available if he wants to use it. Ace goes down. And the rest of Gaming Gladiators do manage to get their way out. I'm thinking maybe a Refresher Orb is needed for the Faceless Void. Really needing 2 chronos. They need 1 chrono for the Storm Spirit, 1 chrono for this Lifestealer. So OG hold again in this game, back and forth. You can see, look at the jumps up and down in this game. It's going to start tilting back to the side of OG again after that fight. It did cost them a buyback on Yuragi, so this man is now public enemy number 1 for the side of Gaming Gladiators. If they kill him, they know he is out. Done and out for over 100 seconds. Roshan, let's see it. 4 seconds. Will it be an instant spawn? How long will it be? 1 minute 30, so... Not too long, really. It'll be back up very soon. BZM now has a Wind Waker, so has the ability to save Yuragi in these fights from the jump from Boom. I mean, the BKB jump from Storm with the Infest Bomb Hex follow-up, it's just so much. A little bit too much to OG to deal with, but maybe the Wind Waker is the solution. They need a way to make Yuragi invulnerable from the burst initiation from Gladiators. I wonder if they've seen or scouted out that Wind Waker, if they've just clicked on BZM to see he has it. Both teams now scouting out the Pish. We have an illusion in there for OG. Flares being thrown over as well. Just getting to see what's happening on the map. Tiger has not got an Aghanim Scepter this game, so a long way away from having those triple flares. Scouting out, and now the smoke comes. There's Chrono in 14 seconds. Illusion scouting out. They are smoked up. They find the hook onto the CM. This will probably be a Demon immediately. Chrono is being held. There's the Global Silence, and they get the catch onto 2. Yules up into the air. For Amar pops the cheese, and immediately the BKB. But it might not be enough. There's the Chrono. The catches. Do they have enough damage? It's underneath the Macroplier. They need to bring down the Lifestealer inside of it, and they get the job done. They do. Immediately buyback. CM is caught inside with buyback as well. Misha's inside the pit. Roshan's actually going to spawn and bash up the Jakiro. And Yuragi, he's on the run. He has a TP. Does he manage to get away? He does. Misha needs to get out of this area. He's probably going to be dead now. Ace has found him with the Roar, and it's just Yuragi left alive. The Roshan, it's going to fall. It is all the goodies this time. I don't know if there's a way that OG can defend against this. There's a DD in the bottom lane. Probably needs to pick this up if they want to defend. And really, it's 60 seconds. 60 seconds for 3 heroes of OG. Tiger will be up soon enough, but the tier 4s, they're under threat. They actually did get the DD, but it might cost him his life. He's got no buyback. He's been caught. There's no BKB, and I believe GG's called. That's it. Game 2 goes to GaiminGladiators in a back and forth game, and they're just going to have some celebratory ults at the end of the game. And really, in a bit of a comeback win, they take it. They're going to game 3.